Virtual production is still a relatively new tool for filmmakers, and the killer use cases are still being defined. The most popular one of all is driving plates. That's right, using video plates, production is able to get shots of actors in cars done day after day all over the world. So why is this use case so successful? Driving plates offer productions not only cost savings over a traditional moving car shoot, it also is simpler in many ways. Well, for one, the car is not being driven, and there are far less safety, permitting, and insurance requirements. Also, they capture the real world, and it's much easier to capture that than to build entirely new computer-generated worlds. You probably haven't noticed, most movies you watch nowadays, if there's a conversation happening inside of a car, it's highly likely that that is shot using virtual production. The fact that you haven't noticed is a good thing. Most films can blend those VP shots with real-world shots seamlessly. For the most part, the VFX, VP, and cinematography teams have figured out lighting, plate composition, car motion, and all of those intricate details. Driving plate assets are getting better constantly as well, so there are tool sets like perspective mapping, color pipelines, and playback controls that come into play. For high-profile talent, it's easier and more convenient to get driving shots done inside of a VP stage, which is inside of a sound stage, than in the real-world streets, especially in a moving car. When the star of the show wants VP, that has a big influence over how it's done. Let's dive a little deeper into the tech behind driving plates. I've set up a digital driving plate scenario here to highlight generally how this works. Cameras are mounted on a car that drives down a location that is specified by the production. The cameras all work together to capture all those different angles simultaneously. The footage then looks something like this. That footage has to be correctly brought into an LED volume so that the prop car can be mimicked to drive down that same location without ever moving. Pixels captured by camera are rectangular, and the vantage point of that camera is baked in. So how can we create new vantage point or new perspectives from a bunch of 2D videos? Driving plates can be stitched into a single 360 video that is spherical and manipulated in the same way you would move around a ball. Alternatively, you can leave the plates as is and they can be partially stitched live depending on the perspective and vantage point requirements of that shot. Here in this guise, you can see how spherical mapping interacts with the 360 plate and generally how it's set up. We want to preserve the pixel quality and stay true to the capture as much as we can. Also, here you can see when specific camera angles are called for. Quality is a big component of driving plates, and without it, the end result is just not good enough to be put into a film or a TV show. Driving plates have to have tons of pixels. Resolutions as high as 12K or even 16K are common. And the objective is to create the illusion of reality in the background of every shot, as well as seamless, perfect reflections on the car itself. Another consideration is video compression and high-performance playback in real time. All driving plates come in via some sort of compression into a volume. The objective is to minimize the visual hit from capture to stage. Codecs like Notch LC, plate back through disguise are a perfect compromise between file size, real-time playback, and image quality. Finally, the motion of the capture car has to be eliminated, and the only motion of the in-camera footage should be used. Image stabilization during capture and during processing is a big part of driving plate pipelines. Reflections are a big part of the overall artistry as well, and if this component breaks, the end result just doesn't look very good. If you think about it, a car is really just a giant reflective object. In the real world, the sky, the road, the lights are all reflecting on the car and then bouncing into a camera. We have to mimic the same behavior in a stage. The circular main walls of an LED volume do a good job with the 180 coverage, but what about the top? Maneuvering ceilings is a technique that's quite effective Also, adding LED walls on wheels called wild walls to fully enclose the car with more light ensures reflections are fully covering the car. Finally, adding practical lighting sources to augment the LED volume is a great strategy. Cameras need much more light than you think, and LED walls often can't light up subjects inside the car without clipping the in-camera. If there are street lights or sunlights in the shot, an augmentation with the hard light source is required. Now, matching the color temperature and the quality of the lighting with that of the content is super important here. If you're thinking about using VP for your show or starting out a new stage, consider doing driving plate shoots first. It's a relatively low barrier to success and there's a lot of demand for it. Did you know that a lot of stages around the world only do driving plates or video plates and thrive? And on the flip side, studios that are strictly doing real-time and 3D oriented content are now looking to accommodate driving plates because the opportunity is there. Let me know if you have any questions or what you think about this video. Leave some comments and I'll look forward to the next one with you. Thank you.